Well, the shocking one happens to be Manchester United and Neymar. But can Neymar cope with the situation in Manchester United? Can Erik ten Hag manage Neymar? Let's go on a break, and when we return, we start with tennis. Talk NBA. Do not go anywhere. Good morning. Okay, remember we're live on Facebook, facebook.com/solutions939FM, facebook.com/solutions939FM. You can as well stream us live on YouTube, solutions939FM, solutions939FM. Download our app on Google Play Store, type solutions939FM, click the download button, and you can listen to us on the go from anywhere across the globe. Watch what is happening. Get more updates about the OAP's situation in Solutions 939FM room. So, second seed Dani Medvedev saw his French Open hopes end with a shock first round defeat to Brazilian world number 172 Thiago Seyboth Wild on Tuesday. The qualifier ended Medvedev's hope of winning a second Grand Slam final with a 7-6, 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-4 victory after 4 hours and 15 minutes. Well, no one saw that coming, right? But now, still talking about tennis, and most especially what is happening at the French Open. But this happens to be on and off the court situation where an official complains about Novak Djokovic's on-camera message and will call for the 22-time Grand Slam champion to be fined. After his first round victory at the French Open on Monday, Djokovic wrote on the camera's lens, and I quote, "Kosovo is the heart of Serbia. Stop the violence." End of quote. Well, Kosovo declared independence in 2008, but Serbia has never recognized that. And violence broke out in the north of the country over the weekend after ethnic Albanian mayors were installed in Serbian-dominated areas, with NATO peacekeepers among those injured. Well, for Djokovic's message immediately drew attention on social media, with the Serbian telling journalists from his country, "As a Serb, it hurts what is happening in Kosovo." So, remember, it has been more of issues. Remember the Russian-Ukraine crisis, and it has also been a battle between the Ukrainian tennis star and Belarusian in the WTA category of the French Open. But now let's look at situations going down today. Games going down in the ATP category before talking about the WTA category of the French Open. The men's singles game starts today, 10 o'clock, as Jason Kobler battles Fabio Fognini. Roberto Cabela's Bayana will be up against Stefano Tsitsipas. Sebastian Boada will be up against Sebastian Korda. Diego Schwartzman will be up against Nuno Gomez as Lorenzo Musetti battles Ugo Humbert by 11:30. Same time, Thanasi Kokinakis lock hands with Stan Wawrinka as Mathieu Anardi take on Denis Shapovalov 1 o'clock. The same 1 o'clock, Tyler Grespo will be up against Uba Okaz as Andrei Rublev battles Corentin Moutet, while Rado Albot will be up against Karen Chakinov. More games to go down. Carlo Alcaraz by 1:45 will take on Taro Daniel as Luca Pauli battles Cameron Norrie, and Novak Djokovic will be in action 7:15 tonight against Martin Fucsovics. In the WTA category, today, 10 o'clock, Elisa Mertens will be up against Maria Osorio as Jelena Ostapenko battles Peyton Stearns. Storm Hunter against Elina Svitolina. Kamila Georgi will be up against Jessica Pegula as Ludmila Samsonova will take on Anastasia Pafuchenkova. Maya Sharif will be up against Anastasia Potapova. More big games to go down today, but the last game of today we see Leylah Fernandez battle Clara Towson by 3:30. Okay, now moving away from tennis this morning as we look at updates from the world of the NBA, where Bob Meyer is reportedly stepping down as president and general manager of the Golden State Warriors after leading the franchise to 4 NBA titles during his 11 years at the helm. The news was first reported Tuesday by Andrei Wojnarowski. The 48-year-old Meyer joined the Warriors front office in 2011 and was promoted to GM in April 2012. Since taking over, he hired Steve Kerr as coach, signed Steph Curry to 2 Supermax contracts, drafted Draymond Green, and oversaw the deals of Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala, and Andrew Wiggins. Under his direction, he helped build the Warriors into one of the most successful franchises in the NBA with 4 titles and 6 total trips to the finals in the last 9 years, and was twice named the league's executive of the year. Okay, well, we say we wish him all the best. I mean, talking about Bob Meyer, right? Now, let's move straight to the second half of the show where we talk football. Remember, guys, keep streaming on our YouTube, Facebook pages, Solutions 939 FM. Shout out to Tosin Glory, Oluwakemi, Esther, Adenusi. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Welcome back. Still Kickoff Sports Show. Check the time right now. It is 8:09. Live from your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM. Well, the final is going down today at the Lagos Alami Stadium. The Swan under 13 Girona school competition. We've got athletics also going down, same as match pass, where we have, well, 2 teams to battle for honor today. The grand finale of the competition tagged Oyo under 13 football and athletics competition, going down today at the Adamasingba Stadium in Ibadan. The competition involving GSS3 pupils and other school children who are under the age of 13 will feature final or football match pass, as well as a track event such as relay race, 100-meter and 200-meter race. Bradville College and Adam Secondary School will slug it out in the football final. Remember, on Tuesday, Precious Academy beat Generation Next to the 3rd place after winning by a lone goal in athletics event. The State Powerhouse, Bradville College, Ibadan, Blessing College from Aguare in Okeogun area of Oyo State, as well as Supreme College, Hilltop Secondary School, Supreme Academy and Bodija International are to fight for medals and honors. Well, for Bradville College, Hillcrest Excellence School, Chancery College, and Bodija International College will compete in the match pass, according to the chairman of the competition's planning committee, who doubles as the secretary of the Swan in Oyo State. Adewale Tijani, the competition is aimed at discovering and nurturing budding talents who will represent the state and Nigeria in future national international competitions. All right, well, in case you want to see the young stars perform, go straight to Lagos Alami Stadium at Adamasingba Ibadan to see the young ones battle for honors. Okay, now let's talk about the FA Cup in Nigeria with updates. The Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos and Otumba Adegbodino Stadium in Ijebu-Ode will be the host venues for the semi-finals of the men's edition of this year's NFF Federations Cup competition. Rangers International, who won the Africa Cup Winners' Cup in 1977, a string of FA Cup triumphs will square off to ambitious Plateau United at the Otumba Adegbodino Stadium in Ijebu-Ode. Remember, Wuri Wolves and Bendel Insurance will also battle each other. Okay, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Remember, Bendel Insurance looks like a team that is ready to, go with firepower. But let's wait and see. Anything can happen. Bendel Insurance is still in the Super 6. And the winner of the Federations Cup will surely represent Nigeria at the CAF Confederations Cup. While the top 3 in the Super 6 will surely go for the CAF Champions League. Moving away from that this morning, let's talk about Nigeria's female team Falconet. 16 goals for Super Falconet of Nigeria will be the favourites when they take on their counterparts from Benin Republic in the second semi-final of the ongoing WAFU B Under-20 Women's Championship in Kumasi tonight. The encounter starts 6:30 p.m. local time, 7:30 p.m. in Nigeria. Hours after the first semi-final between host Ghana and Burkina Faso at the same Baba Yara Stadium starting at 3 p.m. We've got a lot going down, talking about Africa, even across the globe, national teams battling each other. Well, for WAFU B, we've got the Falconets in action. And remember, Nigeria Super Falcons will face either Ethiopia or Chad in the second round of the 2024 Paris Olympic Football Qualifier. This is according to an announcement that came on the official Twitter handle of the NFF on Tuesday. The draw of the qualifiers was held on Tuesday in Cairo, Egypt. Ethiopia and Chad will face each other in the first round, and the winner over 2 legs will take on Super Falcons in the second round. The African qualifiers will kick off on July 23 and 2023 and were conducted in April 2024. This will spread over 4 rounds in a home and away format. Only 2 teams will represent Africa at the football event of the Paris Olympics. Now remember, the Super Falcons have failed to qualify for the last 3 Olympic Games in 2012, 2016, 2020. We hope that this girls can do better, because the last appearance was in 2018 Beijing, where they crashed out in the group stage. Now let's go straight to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, where Nigeria's Flying Eagles will be in action against hosts Argentina. Host and 6-time champions Argentina will fancy being the favourites in their FIFA Under-20 World Cup round of 16 duel West Nigeria and San Juan tonight. Our head coach Lada Boso says his team will not be intimidated by the physicality of the opponent and the capacity crowd expected at the venue. But guys, let's go on a break, and when we return, we look at other fixtures of games and the likely chances of Nigeria edging out the host of the Under-20 FIFA World Cup, Argentina.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash, as long as you get Momo account. No cash, no wahala, and e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
Saleko is the jungle. Everyone does what they must to survive.
Gangs of Lagos don't land for Prime Video and na the #1 film, so make una go watch am. E get better stars like Toby Bakri, Adeswai Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo and more, plus the genge action wey dem do for the film. Chai! Na for only Prime Video you fit watch Gangs of Lagos, and dem go first give you 7 days free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oh yeah, check back to Prime Video.
Olóyè Ṣódẹkẹ́ ká má purọ́ ilé ìyá yìí gbà ẹ kú ìnáwó ẹ ṣe Adúnlé Adékàrí orílẹ̀-èdè wo gan-an lẹ ti kó àwọn fọ́níṣọ̀s wọ̀nyí wọlé. ọ̀dọ̀ Johnson èrè mo ti ra àwọn l'Íbàdàn bí ojúlówó fọ́níṣọ̀ làwọn ń tà lọ́dọ̀ tiwọn. èyí tá a jẹ ilẹ̀ lè ní a má tọ́ wò àmọ́ ohun tá a bá jẹ tó dùn mọ́ni ṣe ni láǹfààní kò sẹ́ni tó lè ṣí wa lẹ́nu ń bẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́lẹ́ gan lọ̀rọ̀ rí pẹ̀lú Johnson A Nigeria Enterprises ilé ìtajà fọ́níṣọ̀ tó ń léwájú ní Nàìjíríà. àwòdàmẹ́nu àga ìjókòó àwọn lọ́lá sofas lóríṣiríṣi pẹ̀lú royal oak and marble dining sets, executive office furniture lónírúurú, banquet furnitures, bed and dressing mirror tó fi mọ́ kitchen cabinet bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń fẹ́. gbogbo ẹ̀ ojúlówó imported ni furniture lọ́dọ̀ Johnson A Nigeria Enterprises ní shop number AA 18-20 railway shopping complex off Aleshiloye market àti 8A-11 railway shopping line by Alalubosa junction Iyaganku railways crossing Ibadan. Telephone 080-2303-0550 tàbí 070-6225-2649. Johnson A Nigeria Enterprises ilé ẹrù fáwọn imported furnitures tó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is because almost everyone in my school comes with small candies and biscuits. I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, Mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Hello, sir. Do you mind if I interview you quickly?
No. I don't get
Just
time.
a quick one, sir. If you get 1 million naira right now, what would you...
You said? First of all, hey, I go share this my phone. After that, I will go buy a red bars, you understand? Then I'll go work well. Come block my landlord office, see my status. God declare for the boys there. Levels all love without
Take off on a millionaire level and do as you like with the FCMB Millionaire Promo Season 9 by increasing your savings account balance by 10,000 naira and keeping it for 30 days in your FCMB account. And if you are a new customer, deposit 10,000 naira into your account and keep it for 30 days. And you could be one of the winners of $1 million naira and other amazing cash rewards. Approved by NLRC and FCCPC. FCMB, my bank and I.
Welcome back. Check the time right now. It is 8:19, still live on your Remedy Radio Dial Solutions 939 FM. It is Kiko Sports Show. My name is Oladakwa Kunubi, in case you're just tuning in. And let's talk about the FIFA Under-20 World Cup knockout round games going down today. Well, we told you that Nigeria's Flying Eagles will be up against the host Argentina, and that game is going down 10 p.m. Nigerian time. And at same time, we have England's Under-20 national team take on Italy. But before these two matches, we have two games come up 6:30 p.m. today, where Brazil will be up against Tunisia and Colombia battles Slovakia. Okay, now quickly taking you back to what happened yesterday at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. USA bashed New Zealand 4-0 as Israel defeated Uzbekistan. And with that, USA cruised into the quarterfinal of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup alongside Israel. We're wishing Nigeria's Under-20 team all the best today. Okay, away from that, still talking about the USA, but not the Under-20 team, but the U.S. Soccer Federation on Tuesday announced that Anthony Hudson is leaving his role as interim manager of the United States men's national team to take a new role and will be replaced by the national team assistant B.J. Callahan. Hudson is departing to take a head coaching role in the Middle East. That is according to source report. Okay, now let's go quickly look at what we're going down tonight to end the Europa League. It is, Europa League final. Jose Mourinho is optimistic that the team is good enough to win another European Cup trophy. Well, remember, for Jose Mourinho has been a manager who has won it all. Talking about European football competition, he has won the UEFA Champions League title, won the Europa League, won the Conference League. Now, he took Roma to the Conference League final. He won it. Now, he's back with the same team in the Europa League final. Jose Mourinho is saying that the secret has been being focused and ready to defy all odds.
Working hard, motivating players to work hard, believing, never give up, even in the difficult moments, and thinking always that what happened before is history, and if you want to be in football, you have to be always with the same ambition as they won. So we enjoy, we fight, we work, we go, and we want to play that final Wednesday. Well, last season I had to explain them what was a UEFA Media Day because they didn't know it. Now is the second time for them, so it looks like it's almost normal to have it, but it's not normal to have it at all. But I'm really happy. I come to Rome with this objective to work hard to try to give them, grew up as a club, but also to reach these special moments that define the history of a club.
Also, well, for the history of the club, let us also check that of their opponent, which will be playing tonight. I just feel like, yes, either of the two sides will surely cry tonight. Okay, well, for the clash tonight, Sevilla against the AS Roma. Considering 6 of the last 9 UEFA Europa League titles have been claimed by Spanish sides, 4 of which were won by Sevilla, the trophy would already be heading to the south of Spain if history was deciding this final. Sevilla have won each of the last 6 final appearances in UEFA's second-tier competition too. So the Omens are firmly a start in the Andalusian side's favor when they come up against Italian side Roma. Okay, but the key battle right now, formerly of Roma, Sevilla's Eric Lamela has seen 2 of his last 3 European League goals come against Italian opposition, including their win against Juventus in the semi-final. Roma stopper Rui Patricio will be trying to thwart him, and no player in European League history has made more than his 68 appearances in the competition proper. 5 of the last 7 of which have seen him keep a clean sheet. Okay. All right, so you know where to put your money and your mouth. Well, based on the odds, Sevilla's got 2.88 and 2.95 is for Roma, while 2.80 for Sevilla and 2.90 from other side. You know what I'm saying, right? Okay, so let's go back to England, where we have the FA Cup. Manchester United, Manchester City. Not a good news for Manchester United, as they got the saddest story about a man who's a top striker for them, Anthony Martial. Manchester United's preparation for the FA Cup final have been hit by an injury to Anthony Martial. The Frenchman has been ruled out of Saturday's clash with Manchester City at Wembley after suffering a hamstring injury during a 2-1 win over Fulham. So, not good news, but let's talk about Pep Guardiola. Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola has been named the League Managers Association Manager of the Year. Guardiola, who has guided City to a 3rd straight Premier League title and is hunting the domestic treble, has won the Sir Alex Ferguson Trophy for a 3rd time and was also named Premier League Manager of the Year. Well, City faced Manchester United in the FA Cup final on Saturday and Inter Milan in the Champions League final. So, if you want to push your money on Pep Guardiola to win the treble, let's see what happens. But now let's go straight to transfer stories this morning, where a lot of people expected João Felix to stay back. Even for João Felix, he wanted to stay back. But he had to put a clause that the only reason he'll be staying back in Chelsea is if they qualify for UEFA Champions League. But Chelsea did not even qualify for Europa or Conference League. But new Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino does not want João Felix to remain in the club next season. This is coming from Atletico Madrid president Eric Cerezo. The 23-year-old joined Chelsea in January on a 6-month loan from Atletico shortly after extending his contract with the La Liga club to 2027. So he will be returning to Atletico Madrid, or maybe a team in the Premier League will want to tie him down. But remember, Pochettino will be tasked to getting Chelsea back into Europe after signing a 2-year deal with the club on Monday. While AC Milan are in talks with Chelsea over the signing of midfielder Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek has 1 year left on his contract at Stamford Bridge, but has the option to extend that by a further year. Now let's go straight to the German Bundesliga this morning, where former chief executive Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is returning to Bayern Munich as a member of the club's supervisory board. Remember, Bayern said on Tuesday that 67-year-old Rummenigge, a former player and long-time employee of the club before he made way for incoming CEO Oliver Kahn in December 2021, was coming back to ensure its continued success. But remember, Bayern were in big trouble before the magic came on the final day of the season, where they lifted the Bundesliga trophy. Remember they lost the DFB Pokal, right? With Thomas Tuchel when he came on board. But now let's talk about Juventus here. Juventus are leading the race to sign Christian Pulisic. with Chelsea prepared to offload the United States forward for a £20 million fee this summer. And a consortium that includes Leeds chairman Andrea Radrizzani has completed a takeover of Italian club Sampdoria. Leeds majority shareholder Radrizzani's company, Asset Groups, and finance company Gestio Capital announced they had concluded a deal to save financially stricken Sampdoria late on Tuesday night. Well, remember, Leeds United has relegated to the championship. And the German is also thinking of selling the club. All right, guys, well, let's move to the other side of the show this morning where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers and make a return tomorrow on the Kickoff Sports Show, 8 o'clock. Shout out to the guys who streamed earlier this morning and still are live. Well, remember, guys, we're still live on the show as we move to the newspaper review from the dailies. Adebayo Timilane, T-Boy, Alpha Banishe, Sov Abiola, Hoje, Olamilekan Williams, Ayabami, Steven Tosin Glory. Shout out to you guys and Oluwakemi Esther. We'll be right back. Do not change the dial. It is Solutions 939 FM.
.9 FM.
Keep it locked.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
We raise the spotlight on the different headlines of our national dailies.
This government, apart from giving that minimum wage of 30,000, which was a 6% rise.
We bring to you in-depth analysis on the major stories making the rounds.
And the CSOs to INEC account for 400 billion naira spent on general elections.
Interviews with political and government stakeholders.
There was a big push on export. We consume a lot. We need to be an economy that an export engine, and we need to be a production.
Every weekday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Welcome to From the Dailies with Favor, Dapo, Laffy, and Victory. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Your voice matters.
Radio is all about information, education, and entertainment.
Maybe that's before now. Solutions 93.9 FM has raised the standard of radio broadcast to preferring solutions in all human angle. 939 FM, The Remedy.
Okay, it is the last day in the month of May, the 31st day in the month of May 2023. It's 8:31 on Solutions 93.9 FM. My name is Ade Damola Lafenwa, and with all great pleasure, I welcome you to the From the Daily segment on AM Update on your number one radio dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Good morning, young striker.
Yeah, good morning, Laffy. Good to have you here. Yeah, and, well, I need to also ask, how much was transfer fare yesterday and this morning?
Well, I wouldn't know because, but I know I was at the Q station this morning, and I tried to be there as early as possible I seem to be fagged out a bit because it's like.
So you queued over the filling stations?
It's the battle of the fittest now. At some filling stations.
So also for people who have links at filling station, it is easier for them.
It's easier for
just
them.
Call the station
just
manager.
Call your link. Your link there. It might not necessarily be the station manager. Maybe one of the attendants too can also help you out.
Okay. Well, I've got with me the Punch, the Nation.
I've got the Vanguard and the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay. We have all the papers.
Definitely.
Okay, remember, guys, you can join us live on Facebook, facebook.com/Solutions939FM, Solutions939FM on YouTube, and you can as well download our app on Google Play Store. Go straight to Google Play Store on your Android phone. Type Solutions939FM, click the download button on that app to listen live on the go anywhere you are across the globe. You can as well use the Radio Guardian, type Solutions939FM. It takes you down straight to 100 Aweni. Okay, I do Ibado. Right, so let's go straight into the stories we have this morning.
Okay, I'll be starting off with the Nigerian Tribune this morning, and let me take the banner airline that has something to do with the removal of fuel subsidy.
Okay.
Tinubu's subsidy removal remark: Labour talks tough, queues spread, petrol prices rise, and riders to that said, governors warn against panic buying, go after marketers. FG owes NNPCL 2.8 trillion naira. Kiari. That story we found on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune, and there is a picture of the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu assuming office. He was reporting to the office for the first time yesterday morning, and was being ushered in by guards at the Aso Villa office. Moving away from that, Timothy Adegoke's murder. Court sentences Adedoyin Hotelier to death by hanging. That story is on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria spent 11.350 trillion naira on turnaround maintenance of 3 moribund refineries between 2010 and 2020. Reps and rider to that ask FG to revoke 37 inactive refinery licenses. Now coming to Oyo State, auxiliary escapes as police arrest 78 suspects, recover arms, ammunition during the raid. And I can see a rider to that. I'll take the rider. 84 live AK-47 ammunition, 9 pump action rifles, 4 AK-47 magazines, 724 live cartridges, others recovered, police say. That story is on page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And let me take this last one. It says, okay, I think I have a couple of headlines to take too on this front page. Tinubu directs DSS to vacate EFCC office, and the last one says, court upholds FG's no work, no pay policy against ASU. That story will be found on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
Okay, jumping straight to the Punch newspaper this morning, and looking at the first headline, facing me here, Tinubu inherits over 16 trillion naira uncompleted project. So many incoming administrators, they are inheriting uncompleted projects, they're inheriting debt. So this is that of, we are seeing that of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And, is it the incoming... the newly sworn-in governor in Benue State, we saw what he also inherited. And it was even the Benue State's outgoing governor, that announced the debt they had on ground. So, looking at another one here, 11 trillion naira spent on moribund refineries in 13 years. Reps, ASU, court on case, no work, no pay policy. Those are the cap headlines from the Punch newspaper. Going straight to the banner headline this morning, subsidy. Fuel sells 600 naira per litre. Queues worsen as filling stations short. Riders to this headline, Tinubu, NNPCL, GMD, others meet. Framework for removal underway. Another rider, FG cannot fund subsidy again. owes NNPCL 2.8 trillion naira, says Kiari. Last headline. Kwara, Ekiti, Bayelsa governors, others warn marketers against hoarding. Maybe they should have included Osun State because I read that of Osun State also yesterday. Now the front page picture on the from the Punch newspaper this morning has queues for fuel at petrol stations at the Central Business District, Abuja, and Alausa, Lagos. We have that also in Ibadan here at Okeado. Maybe we need to have newspaper that is based in Ibadan. Well, maybe maybe check Tribune. Yes, I know Tribune, but I don't know. Maybe they have the picture on the front page, so they don't. So we need to also tell their editors.
Okay.
Let me just finish. Let me finish here.
Okay.
National Assembly anti-zoning group condemns alleged plan to arrest Betara Yari. Oyo police storm auxiliaries hideout. Arrest 78 with arms. I saw the video yesterday. Pictures. I was like, okay, see these ammunitions. How many of the Amotekun Corps have this ammunition? And even Nigerian police. So how are these people getting these ammunitions?
Well,
a lot of questions are begging for answers. And, well, we wait to see the final outcome of this. Let's go straight to the next newspaper.
Okay, moving to the Vanguard newspaper. I'm flipping through the pages of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. We have quite interesting stories there. Fuel scarcity, Tinubu resumes at Aso Rock meets Emefiele Kiari. It's mischievous to say Tinubu removed fuel subsidy. Kiyamo. Fuel subsidy again. Don't dare Nigerians. NLC wants Tinubu. Okay, Akpabio's Kingsmen seek support for Tinubu's administration. Abia Oti freezes state bank accounts, dissolves boards. And I'm still going through the pages of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Abiodun meets Ogun workers, reiterates administration's commitment to their welfare. Vandals bust fuel pipeline in Lagos. Okay, these and many more will be found on the pages of the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
Oh, very fast with Vanguard. Okay, let me see that of the Nation newspaper this morning.
Okay.
I mean, this is the first time we just quickly finished the headlines. Okay, I think the biggest story happens to be the subsidy.
The subsidy thing, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, I understand, right? Okay, so let's go straight to other headlines here. Going straight to the Nation newspaper, talking about the state of the nation. The cap headlines. OAU students Adedoyin, 2 others get death. Okay, OAU student Adedoyin, 2 others get death sentence. Check page 7 of the Nation newspaper. Federal government owing NNPCL 2.8 trillion naira, says Kiari. 136. Okay. Oh well, that headline looks blurry. But let's move straight to other headlines here. The red headline: Tinubu orders DSS to end siege to EFCC's Lagos office. Senate okays NDDC's budget. The banner headline: stock market gains 1.5 trillion naira on Tinubu's policy direction. Right after that headline, gain is highest in 30 months. The next rider, Naira firms up marginally. And we have the pictures and the front page on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. The resumption of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. So get used to these names. Get used to, well, in the next few days we start. Get used to that. And looking at other headlines here, PDP LP open case before tribunal. Another headline here: petrol crisis trails president's fuel subsidy is gone pronouncement. Well, we have different writers to that, but let's go straight to the last headline here. Acting Immigration CG direct prompt issuance of passports. I take that again. Acting Immigration CG direct prompt issuance of passports. So we should not be seeing queues, long queues, crowd at passport offices across the nation. I don't know how far that of Oyo town has been. Remember, it has been commissioned, but maybe next few days we'll visit the Oyo town to see how operational that office has been. All right, now moving straight to the burning issue this morning. It is still about the fuel subsidy removal announcement, because there has been, according to reports, the subsidy removal had already taken place before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made the announcement on Monday.
I heard that there was no provision for.
Yeah, there was no provision in the budget. I mean, starting from next month.
Former President Muhammadu Buhari.
Wow, now former president.
Former president.
Get used to it. But here is Mele Kyari. Well, he's the NNPC man. Mele Kyari, the managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, who was speaking yesterday about what surrounds the subsidy removal. They are also happy that the subsidy has been removed because federal government could not even live up to expectation talking about payment of fuel subsidy. Then what should be done by Nigerians and fuel marketers?
I know all of us must have seen the fuel queues in filling stations across the country. Very, very understandable that whenever announcements of changes to price of petroleum happens, both buyers and also marketers will like assurance of what exactly means. And typically, consumers will rush to the fuel station to fill their tanks, and that is why you are seeing these queues. And also for marketers, they would like to see what exactly this means, in the sense that, so how are we going to sell the product if subsidy on PMS is removed? And the combination of two is what you are seeing, the obvious dislocation of distribution, and we believe that this will go away very, very quickly. And as you are aware also, as you may be aware, the Petroleum Industry Act has made it very clear that the price of petroleum must be priced at market. That means there must be commercial price for petroleum, 6 months, and that terminates 6 months after bringing into law of the Petroleum Industry Act. That is when we net off our fiscal obligations of taxes and royalty, there is still a balance that we are funding from our cash flow. And that has become very, very difficult and affecting our other operations. We are not able to keep some of this cash to invest on our core businesses, and the end result is that it can be a huge challenge for the company. And we have highlighted this severally to government that they must compensate NNPC, they must pay back NNPC for the money that we have spent on the subsidy. Fortunately, also by virtue of the provisions of the law, and also the Appropriation Act 2023, it is no longer available for that funding. And we are very convinced today that the country can no longer fund this subsidy bill, and they will not be able to pay NNPC. And therefore, we are pleased to note Mr. President's commitment to elimination of this subsidy because they can't afford it anymore. And we will take necessary steps to ensure that we recover our costs from the market, and also being mindful of the fact that, a situation like this can lead to exploitation of customers, and we're also working with the regulator who is here with me to see how we can cap any such excessive management of greed, to say the least. And this will be contained by virtue of the provisions of the law.
Just heard Mele Kyari, who's the managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPCL. Okay, it's PCL, so in case you don't know. Well, Comrade Oluwamotosho is joining us all the way from Abuja this morning, or maybe in Ibadan, I don't know. Comrade, good morning to you. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir.
We're good. First, clear us, where are you this morning, Ibadan, Lagos?
I'm in Ibadan.
Oh, fine.
I'll have just about 10 minutes because I'll be on TV, on Cartoon TV in a moment.
Okay, so let's just quickly look at the current situation in town. How much did you get a liter of fuel? And how would you also look at the situation now? And what Mele Kyari said, do you think people will follow the directive saying that people should not have panic buying? And most especially with the way, I mean, if you look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers, 600, 500 per liter.
Yeah, you see, the problem really is we really cannot stop people engaging in panic buying like it is now. I think there is a little. I think the president, the new president, got this very first one wrong. That's what I know, because you see, some certain things is expected to have been put in place before an announcement, a kind of announcement that he makes that subsidy is removed totally. I think certain palliative or maybe certain arrangement ought to have been put in place. Now, the marketers that are holding the fuel now, of course, when you ask them, they will have a lot to say. I mean, they will tell you that they are not really sure how much they're going to get their next consignment. But then, even if arrangement had been put in place before such arrangement and such announcement is made, maybe we will have seen. I mean, maybe what we'll be seeing now will be quite different from what we are seeing now. And of course, everybody wants to get engaged. Everybody wants to be active. And when you don't have fuel, of course, you go nowhere. In Abuja here, most of the filling stations too are shutting. They are shutting their doors, putting their gates under lock and key. But the only difference is that in Abuja, even when it was critical, you can get black markets to buy. So not as expensive as we are hearing from the south. Because I had some filling stations were selling at 500, 600 down south there. Now here is not like that. 2 days ago, we were coming from somewhere and we saw a filling station opened. We drove in and it was the actual price at the bottom. So I think something needed. There's something that must be done now to arrest the situation before it gets worse.
Now, arresting the situation. This is not the first time that we'll be having, hiking in price of petroleum products. And at the end of the day, it's just like few stations that have been shut. But hey, what should be put in place? People are not even prepared until that announcement was made. But the decision has been made already because it was not included in the budget. How can Nigerians survive?
Well, I think when you talk about palliative, of course, most people would start with palliative. But before the palliative, even before the announcement at all, I would have expected that measures have been put in place to forestall, to stop the kind of the hoarding that we are seeing now. Because what is aggravating the situation now is petroleum marketers hoarding the product. Holding the product that they have. It's not as if they do not have it. When you get to any station and you dip, you'll discover that they have fuel, they have products in there. But they are just, they are just maybe apprehensive or maybe thinking, now if we exhaust what we have, we are not really sure how much we're going to get the next consignment. So I think government ought to have done something to assure them, probably have a meeting with them, let them know that there is, there's going to be a period where they will still continue to get this product at the same price or whatever. So I think all of those things that also are being done that were not done is are leading to the kind of problems that we are having now, and it's a bad one. Because a lot of people will take it against the new president that is coming in and then is creating this kind of hardship for everybody. So I think something needs, the president needs to do something very, very quickly so that it will not be starting on a sour note.
Before we allow you go, comrade, just let's look at the ASU story. Court okays no work, no pay policy. So all the battle of ASU has gone to the waters.
Well, I think that is not that judgment may not just fail like that. It will still have to be interrogated because you cannot just wake up one day and say you are making a law and that says there's no work and no pay or whatever. I don't think that can fail because you'll be tampering. You'll be trying on the rights of these workers. They have rights to protest. Now, if you enter into agreement with your worker, you have rights for taking them. You cannot just say, because I'm employing them, I can employ them and fire them. They have rights too. So, I mean, at least there are some conditions of service that were there before they were engaged. And when you engage them, they are saying, what you promised to give us, you are not giving us. And because you are not giving us, we are protesting. And you say because they are protesting, you are throwing them away. Or to say that you will then renege on your own, on the fulfillment of your own arrangement or your own agreement. No, that I'm not sure that can stand the test of time. I'm sure INEC is not. I mean, ASU is not going to take that just sitting down. Definitely, I know they're going to challenge that in court. And definitely, I am very, very sure, very, very optimistic that cannot fly. It cannot fly.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Comrade Olu Omotosho, for joining us on the program this morning. I will wish you all the best.
Thank you
all right.
for having me.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You just heard Comrade Olu Omotosho there saying that ASU is still, challenge.
The judgment will be appealed.
Yes, challenge that that judgment. But let's look at it from this angle. No work, no pay. People protested, and there's nothing stopping. I mean, we have a constitution that backs you to,
you can
embark on strike. But another angle here is, you went on strike, you still expect to be paid. Does it work that way?
Well, I think it's a two-sided thing. Like you said, it's backed by the constitution that at least the law in labor law that workers are entitled to at least go on strike to protest or to express their grievance with their hand. Now, if that is actually backed by the labor law, I think, like Comrade Olu Omotosho said, that pronouncement by the judge can still be challenged in the Court of Appeal. So I'm not seeing the end to that story or to that issue with that headline. I believe that there will still be more to come.
More to come. Well, remember, you can be part of the program this morning. We are live. Remember, you can also call our phone lines to contribute on the show this morning. Numbers to call are 0909 888 9939, 0909 888 9939, or 0912 222 2939. 0912-222-2939. If you're calling from outside the shores of the country, you can call +234 9044 222-939, +234 9044 222-939 to be part of the program. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube. Post your comments and reactions. We'll surely read them out. How much are you buying petrol? How much did you buy petrol yesterday? And where are you currently? How's the queue
like?
And how's the queue like? And well, for those who are used to buying black markets, how much did you get the black market? Because I've been seeing different pictures on social media. People are used to buying fuel in the jerry can, put it in the boot. Now this person has to put it in the back seat. Like, how I go buy petrol for 600 naira per liter, or put down for boots.
It's a VIP.
So petrol is like a VIP, like you said.
VIP.
So let's get your opinion, your reactions this morning. 0909 888 9939, 0912 222 2939, 0909 888 9939, or 0912 222 2939. Remember, +234 9044 222-939. Well, a lot of people are still talking about what is happening in the city of Ibadan. Ibadan is trending. 600 naira is trending, which is the it's different. It's at different prices though. Bovas is trending. EFCC is trending. Let's look at what people are also talking about this morning. Okay. Most especially for current issues, Yorubas trending. Why this trending? Well, did you also get fuel for 600 naira? Well, I also feel like maybe some people just overshoot that price. Yes, so we need to know how much people are getting the fuel, how much has been put in this, in making sure that you were able to go back home. Well, for some people, they did night shift, right? And, waking up the following morning, the prices, the transport fare, increased. So, someone saying that, okay, after buying 1 liter of petrol, of fuel for 800 naira. I don't know where that is coming from. I mean, you can see this online. But let's also get reaction of people this morning. Let's see what they're saying concerning some of the headlines we have this morning. I mean, there are different headlines. Maybe we've been able to touch these headlines, or we've not been able to touch the headlines you're expecting us to touch. You can as well call in and react on that.
Another particular headline I would like us to, though it's sensitive kind of, but it's about the auxiliary issues.
Yes.
And I mean, it's over the years now we've been having. There have always been this kind of let me use the word disunity in court, or maybe a lack of a misunderstanding between the sitting governor and members of maybe either the Road Transport Workers Union, or maybe the one they call PMS now. Because now, after the dissolution of the PMS Disciplinary Committee, that is the Park Management System, by the Executive Governor of Oyo State, after his swearing in, we've been having so many stories of this and that, especially as related to Alhaji Lamidi Mokaila auxiliary. And just yesterday, his house was raided. I saw the video. I mean, looking at the number of ammunition found
in that house,
you begin to wonder: is he a member of
Amotekun or Nigerian Police Force?
Hello, sir.
Hello. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay. Well, we're sorry. We're talking about the headlines this morning. Okay, so you were talking about.
When I saw the clip yesterday, and if this kind of ammunition, there's large ammunition,
bullets.
84 live AK-47.
They look brand new,
and you begin to wonder. Do they do any other thing apart from just managing the
park system? You
begin to wonder: is there any other job they do apart from just doing the park management thing?
And the question here is, don't we have the FRSC that will man the road to also check? I mean, we have the FRSC, we have the Nigerian police, we have the Nigerian army who are in charge of security, but people now having ammunitions, bullets,
and
charms.
Because most of the rifles I saw on the video that yesterday, I didn't see this locally made ones.
They are not.
But
Amotekun is using guns.
The exotic. I mean, even the Nigerian Tribune took time to list out the 19 pump action rifles, 8 live AK-47 ammunition. 4 AK-47 magazines, 724 live cartridges, others with some mobile phones, laptops, and cash, over 3 million naira cash recovered from the house of. You begin to wonder. All these kind of things begin to raise questions. Where how do this ammunition get into circulation?
That is one. How did the ammunition even get into his house in the first place? Because one, you see the luxury of cars in that apartment. One. Yes, you may say, oh, okay, because of the position you are, you surely be entitled to, to get different cars. There are different reports concerning this person in question. And if you are in the first administration, we need to ask a lot of questions. Who is the chief security officer? Who's in charge of security of the state? The police commissioner must also answer a lot of questions. Even the governor himself will surely answer a question when you have this kind of person manning the park management system.
Disciplinary.
What are the rules guiding the park management system? Are you entitled to have ammunition in your home? Then the Nigerian Police Force also needs to tell us what's the number of ammunition you need to have in your house, even if you have the license. Remember what happened to Seun Kuti? They went to his house, they got the license and not the ammunition. And why auxiliary had to run? Why did they have to run? if he knows what he's doing is right and is constitutional, I don't see a reason he needs to run.
Okay.
So if he has a lawyer, maybe they need to sit and look at the necessary things here. But I mean, we're talking about the report that he has been fired as the head of park management system. Look at what happened. Look at the statement. And another thing is, must the state governors work with
That
transport
is the question.
transport
That is the question.
leaders?
That was why I said it's been on for years now. I mean, if you look at the story as far back as maybe the days of, I think we had a more intense situation during the days of Governor Alao Akala
Yes.
period. You know, it was really, you know, that kind of administration gave the NURTW so much prominence
Room.
then, so much prominence and so much power. And then we all know, so those of us that were residing in Oyo State, that we knew the kind of things we had to go through in the hands of this so-called,
Was it even Alao Akala?
I think it
Or-
became more prominent
Yeah,
during Governor Lawakala's administration.
Because I'm looking at so many. I mean, that particular year, we know what happens at Molete.
Molete Igbo Road, there were so many places
Olomi-
there were no-go areas. There were no-go. I was staying somewhere around Olomi then, and I knew the kind of what do I call it?
The
kind
security
of,
tension.
Tension then, during the time of the governor I just mentioned. And I mean, how do we put an end to all this?
That is part of the questions we need to ask. If transport guys could have enough ammunition, you know, in their houses, and you know, they are also, if they want to go, if politicians want to go for campaigns, they are the ones leading. So when these people are given the free chance, then what should an ordinary citizen do?
And another story we'd like to take on this program, another trending, that is the judgment that came from Oshogbo yesterday as regards to the death of Timothy Adegoke, the man that was killed in the year 2021. And that's about talking about the court sentencing Adedoye, the hotelier, to death by hanging. And that story actually trended so much yesterday. And to so many people, it was like, oh, thank God, justice at the end of the tunnel. So I think
That I also feel like that case has been, you know, they took a longer time.
yeah, it dragged for too long. I mean,
And we shouldn't have been.
The incident occurred around November 2021, and for the judgment to come out now,
2023,
May 2023,
May.
I mean,
30th of May 2023.
it took so long.
Look at the case of Ike Kuriomadu. This case didn't take a longer time. That happened last year, and the final decision was done this year. And you know, the people, I mean, who was to be apprehended was apprehended, and the judgment was made and done. And there was nobody that could come out to say that, oh, maybe there was a wrong judgment, you know, from the UK government.
Well, yeah, in Nigeria, you see all these kind of cases dragging for years, and sometimes they just keep on adjourning series of different adjournments and everything. I mean, there are so many things that need restructuring, especially going to the new president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There are so many things that need to be looked into in his administration.
Yes, but most especially Ariwola should also look at how judgments will be done as early, as fast as possible. You know, former Minister of Interior Ralph Aregbesola was talking about the number of people in different prison yards, and talking about how much is being used to feed a prisoner. And you know, if judgments are made as early as possible, we know the number of inmates we have in different jails. I remember, was it not the same last year that we had the prison break, or 2 years ago? So, but let's look at the comments we have concerning the judgment made yesterday. Dayo Emmanuel Ferry on Twitter says, I'm glad the court is granting scholarship up to university level for the children of Timothy. His aged parents need help too, so they don't die of hunger. Adeboye Okunle says, very good. Oyetunji Adeolu at Adeolu Oyetunji on Twitter says, very sound judgment. Okay. And Adebayo Taiwo at _Tunchi says, legit judgment. Kudos to the judge, because I know say they go don't try bribe him. Has that happened before? Have we? Oh, okay. Okay, this one says justice is served on this. There's still more wolves in the sheep's clothing, like this man out there. I'm a philanthropist. Okay, all right. Let's just let's put it that way. I mean, we've getting different reactions.
Yeah.
Okay, if Nigeria can be like this, where one can get justice without blinking an eye, seriously, a lot of politicians would be in jail by now. I don't think it's only politicians. Even, I mean, Nigerians, I mean, not to even talk about to the rich and the poor. You look at different stories, most especially when you look at, the Akika news. If you listen, you see, I mean,
the regular Nigerians.
And you see what they are into, what the evil they perpetrate, and you feel, okay, do we have a good system that takes for you taking laws into your hands? The next thing you need to do, I mean, those who go to jail, what should be done?
Another thing is, do we still have conscience? I mean, if you could put up such cruelty to a fellow human being, I mean, it brings so much questions. I mean, but it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, another headline here, which I also want us to look at, is Tinubu inherits over 16 trillion naira uncompleted project.
I think, and so many governors too. The new governors are inheriting the same thing too.
When Babatunde Raji Fashola, BRF, when he was talking about, I think we were both here last week when he was saying that even till May 29 they'll approve some projects
and everything.
And I said, okay, when you continue approving, then that means you're digging hole for the incoming administration.
That was why I raised the question there. I really don't see the reason why an outgoing government that has barely few days to leave office be approving projects. I mean, at that moment, you should be rounding off. You should be clearly
pay up debts,
rounding off things, closing papers and everything to hand over to the next administration. But as at the last minute, the previous administration, the immediate past administration, was still signing projects and awarding and even making some appointments too, which makes it very ridiculous. It brings back the question of during the time of the immediate past governor of Osun State, Agbeyego Oyetola. Few days to the end of his tenure, he made so much employment, appointments, and everything, and you begin to wonder what's up with these politicians? Why are they trying to dig so much large hole or pit for the incoming administration?
Okay, so we are getting comments concerning this particular headline, and Amy at Emmy Done For Me 1 on Twitter says his boy Fashola should throw more light on that, and please don't start complaining just yet. And okay, so someone is saying at Humphrey First says, why are you telling us? Aren't they same political party? So if it is the same party, so they should know how to.
Okay, you're talking about continuity.
Yes, how to offset, the debt, also to complete the projects. And another thing I'm also looking at here is, okay, if it was to be a different party that came on board, maybe that party would have made announcements and you now say, okay, we inherited debt and we have to pay the debt, or we inherited uncompleted projects. And maybe if the new administration now completes the project, who inherits it? Because there was a story concerning the Lagos Alami Stadium that the project was meant to be completed by the outgone government of late Abiola Ajimobi and was completed by Engineer Seyi Makinde. But here it is. It is not about who completes a project. It's about those who enjoy this project. How this project can also, mean well to people in that state, most especially Nigerians, because these people voted for you. They are the ones paying the taxes. They must also, they must benefit from the government. Okay, let's look at other headlines here. Other reactions. As Morrison Chukwu Ebuka says, it's too early for this. He knows that the government hasn't been doing anything other than sharing public money. So keep running. Keep running what? Okay. Adebayo Kule says, and so what? Did he inherit it from PDP? Nobody say APC. Okay. Let's look at the last comments here. Henry Chooks Uzo says, no, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is president of Nigeria. He has to carry on without complaining. That's what Nigerians don't want to hear, unlike the Buhari administration that complained for wasted 8 years. Okay, so let's look at more, headlines that also deserve what we should also talk about, because I mean our analysts had to take time. I mean, had to go on live TV. But look at this, most especially the picture of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima that resumed yesterday. A lot of people are expecting more from them. A lot of people are expecting them to also take action. Maybe a man. You look at the announcement of Tinubu on 29th, saying that subsidy is gone.
Yeah.
Right, and the order he also gave yesterday, the battle between the DSS and the FCC in Lagos. Let's just wait. Maybe we should wait first before saying, oh, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a man of action and not a man of too much talk, right? Let's also check here. This morning, you took a particular headline in the Nigerian Tribune. And they're talking about Nigeria spending 11.350 trillion naira to turn around maintenance of 3 moribund refineries between 2010 and 2020. And ask FG to revoke 37 inactive refinery licenses. If refineries are not working, is it that we just allow it stop? And if you are even doling out money for repairing a refinery, why don't you get the report of how far a project has gone?
There are so many abracadabras that you can't really explain that happen in government. Sometimes when you look at some of these things being said in the pages of the newspaper these days. I mean, look at when the refinery, Dangote refinery, was being commissioned last week or so. I mean, he made a pronouncement that he had been able to pay up to 70% of the loan that he obtained from the federal government. And talking about the loan, he got $20 billion to embark on that refinery. Now, if the federal government could loan out 20 billion naira to an individual, now why couldn't the federal government channel this kind of money, if they had access to these funds, to at least refurbish all the 4 refineries that we have in Nigeria? I mean, that wouldn't have pushed us into this subsidy and this loans and this huge debt that we've been able to accrue in the process of trying to pay up fuel subsidy, according to them. If we could loan $20 billion to an individual to build his own refinery.
Well, I think it was myself and Victory that were discussing this particular headline, during the commission. I mean, after the commissioning of that project. And I said, for federal governments, maybe they believe more in private organizations. Talking about they are always an open book. You see them, but if you say federal government is to do this, who do you question? Who do you ask? A lot of things would have happened. Even the money, apart from talking about a few subsidy, lots of other projects that nobody can also come and give account. It is about accountability. And if Dangote has, for Dangote, he might have started something. He had started something before he even went to say he needed loan from the central bank. And the central bank also, federal government also look at, okay, we can benefit more from this, and which they benefited. So it is, what can you do before you can say you want to ask for loan?
But my question now is, if they could give him the loan, why didn't the same federal government use such fund to revive the 4 refineries that we have in the country? So they would rather leave those ones dead and give out loan for an individual to build his own. Maybe
federal government also feels that we don't have the people who can maintain our refineries.
But the same federal government will come up and say that they are spending too much on subsidy.
Okay. All right. Well, we look at more comments here this morning. What people are saying. Okay. We were talking about before going back. We were talking about the auxiliary busting, of his hideouts, and 78 people, paraded. And Jayo Lowokeri saying that the politicians are the cause of arms gathering by motor park boys when they refuse to develop our rural areas so they can engage in farming activities, but they rather give them access to free money. Okay, when will Lagos follow suit? MC Oluomo and Co must have their own armories. Because I mean, I also wanted to talk about the MC Oluomo and another question. I mean, so many things that people don't understand, most especially the uneducated ones. You look at MC Oluomo, check his social media handle. Look at where his children are. Look at where his family is. They are not here in Nigeria. And he's got graduates. So for those who are following them, I don't know if they check the successes of these leaders. You know, and another thing is, if these people could be successful, and they have meaning they have two kind of lifestyle. One, a lifestyle of making money, and the lifestyle of the family lifestyle. So those people should also ask, why can't you bring your children back home to come and, you know, cause trouble?
And the same thing goes to those people that the people that are being used by political thugs, by the politicians. I mean,
yes.
You see the children of the politicians, they hardly school in the country. They have the best form of education, the best form of welfare and care and everything. And someone somewhere will still blindly follow them to cause chaos in the name of doing political thuggery.
Yes.
I mean, our people really need to have a rethink.
Yes, have a rethink. Think of the future. Because if it is more of you causing trouble, but at the end of the day, those who are fronting, those who are ahead, I mean, you look at the successes, what they have, even if trouble at the end of the day, I mean, they've paraded over like 70 people now. And auxiliary is not part of them. You look at what happened in Lagos, MC Oluomo, I mean, he knows how to exonerate himself. And well, there's this other headline here. FG borrowed 6 trillion naira from CBN in 2022. Who wants CBN?
The federal government.
Okay. Let's just keep that aside this morning. Well, gradually we'll be wrapping up the program in the next few minutes as we also look at some of the headlines here. So I saw a particular headline. I saw it in Vanguard and I also saw it in Tribune. Subsidy remover, brace for more shocks. LP tells Nigerians. You know, okay. Don't let me say what. What do you expect from opposition? Because these three major parties campaigned, and fuel subsidy removal was also part of their campaign plan. Yeah. So if a PDP had won the presidential election, you know, there would have still been a subsidy remover. If a Labour had won the election, there would still surely be subsidy removal. Maybe the step taken would have been different, right?
Well, I think talking about the subsidy removal, I think most Nigerians really support the idea of removing fuel subsidy. But the thing is that there are some things that should be put in place before the eventual removal of the fuel subsidy, because we can't just continue to accrue huge debt in the name of paying fuel subsidy, which is really affecting the economy of the country. Most Nigerians are in support of the removal of subsidy, but all we are saying is that let the necessary things be put in place before the eventual taking off of the fuel subsidy, so that at least to cushion the effect, just like we are experiencing this day, just a pronouncement was made, and in the next few minutes, all the filling stations went dead. In fact, I was telling the Great Babs yesterday on this program, there's a particular filling station along Akala Express. I witnessed the particular filling station getting supply as early as 6 a.m. on May 29. Okay. 6 a.m. on my way to work. And by the time I was closing from work, just because of the pronouncement, that filling station was shut. Until this morning, the filling station keeps saying that there is no fuel supply.
Well, you know, that's
why we need to really talk to the individuals too out there. Sometimes we blame these things on the government, but I mean,
we ourselves
are doing more harm to ourselves. I mean, you bought something at a very cheap price, but because the pronouncement was made, you want to sell
at high price,
at a very high price,
not even double,
at the detriment of the poor masses. I mean, look at people. I was giving a report on the program yesterday. Yes. I witnessed people fighting, beating themselves up at a filling station just yesterday morning. I mean, you begin to wonder why all this.
It's also like, remember what happened during the cashless, I mean, not even the cashless policies.
The cash crunch.
The cash crunch period, where, you know,
the POS operators
Nigerians were
cashing
fighting,
out.
and they were fighting at the front of banking halls, inside banking halls. Nigerians, you know, stripping themselves naked. And you look at, is this the kind of Nigeria we want? Is this the kind of Nigeria we want to live in? I mean, you look at, okay, now a lot of businesses will have to fold up at this time.
Definitely.
Because, I mean, for example, you have people running business centers. Okay, an example was when I went to Oyo Town. I wanted to, you know, make a photocopy of a document. And the woman said, that she cannot switch on the gen because I just wanted to make 2 copies. Because what I wanted to do was, okay, I wanted to put 1 copy I wanted to put 2 copies on an A4 paper because it's just like half page. So instead of doing 2 copies, I'll just do 1 copy. I was also trying to save cost. But this lady said she can't just waste her fuel because of 1 printout or 1 photocopy. So it goes back to, okay, I was now saying, okay, if I didn't say I wanted to do 2 or 3, and that means she will lose my own money. I won't be able to do my photocopy.
Definitely.
And I was now asking how many people will also go out there to make photocopies. That is for people running business centers. What of people running restaurants? That means there's going to be increase in prices of products, and you know you have to switch on ACEs.
And you know this fuel price or fuel scarcity has a ripple effect, a terrible or denting ripple effect that it has on the economy in general, because most prices of commodities will go up because people will complain that the price of transportation has gone up. That means it will affect all the items too.
Yeah.
And I think the federal government is saying that petrol subsidy removal is not immediate. The presidency has spoken yesterday. So I think we should just appeal to the operators, what do they call it, the IPMAN, the owners of the filling stations, to please, in God's name, we don't need to put cause more harm on ourselves. I mean, most filling stations that are under lock and key this morning, I can bet you most of them are fuel, but they are just refusing to dispense.
And Osun State Governor, Governor Adeleke said any filling station that has fuel and refuse to disburse.
And I think the task force should be operational in Ibadan too, in Oyo State in general, to go around those filling stations. I mean, they are causing so much pains. We are adding so much pains on ourselves. We don't need that.
But do we even now blame the marketers?
Well, I will blame them because at least you have a supply on ground. Dispense that. Do away with that first. Then you can, whatever you are now getting, you can now start.
It is their laughing. This is a business. So you want people, okay, for example, they bought fuel at 200 naira per liter. I'm just saying they sold for 220 and you want them to sell for that 220. Now keep the money in the bank, and when petrol now goes for 400 naira, they will now have to get loan to get a double.
I give an example just now. I witnessed a particular filling station getting supply, a full tanker, getting a full supply, a supply of petrol as at 6 a.m. on May 29. And as at the end of the day, this filling station, as I'm speaking now, that filling station is still under lock and key. Now, do we blame the masses? Who do we blame in that?
That is why I asked the question. I'm not saying we blame the masses. What I'm saying is everybody wants to run business. Okay, that means if peradventure, right, the official price for petrol, is announced, that means the same filling station will not be able to buy fuel from be it NNPC, be it Dangote. You get where I'm going to now. So maybe everybody's trying to be cautious. Everybody's trying to be just to make sure that they don't run out of markets or they don't shut down businesses.
Okay.
So that is where I'm going to. Okay, for example, now you run a cement company. Right? I mean, you run a cement store and someone is, you just got an order and people will also want to buy. If they're buying from your side and you already knew that there's going to be increase, maybe some people will say, okay, if I sell at that high price, I can also still save to buy at the increased level when, there's an official price.
I'm not saying they shouldn't sell at a price, but they should make the fuel available. Nigerians will buy. Just make it available instead
How many
instead of putting your filling station under lock and key and you have the supply. That's my point here.
Okay. Now I got your point.
That's my point. You have the supply, but you are putting your station under lock and key.
Because you want to make extra.
At least I bought fuel at 2:30 yesterday afternoon, and I think that one is still dispensing. If you want to, you have the right to give out or dispense the fuel at any price you want.
Okay.
But if you have the supply, don't hoard the supply.
Okay, stop hoarding fuel. Stop hoarding, right? And we don't know how much gas will go for very soon. For some of us, that's like okay. All right, well, check the time right now. This is 9:25. We're wrapping up this morning, and we'd like to say a very big thank you to everybody that contributed on the program via, Twitter, Facebook. Shout out to Agumbade Sharif, Ademola Adeni, Arani Yaya, Bayo Timilane, T-Boy, Alpha Abanishe. Thank you very much for your messages. Abiola Hoje, Olamileko, to William Ayo, Bami, Stephen, Tosin Glory, Oluwakemi Esther Adeni, Ade Nusi. Well, for everyone out there trying to survive, stay positive. For all feeding station owners, please make things easier for Nigerians, right? My name is Oladapo Okunubi. Be here again tomorrow morning on the AM Update.
Okay, my name is Ade Damola Lafewa, wishing you a winning Wednesday. Good morning.